All right, everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome back to 3 and Out with the Dolphins. Your host Ron here as I go over all the scores and stats of today's game against Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, today's game against them Jaguars was tough. Um, it was a whole lot of anxiety on the offense. I could saw that there when they start off. Um, just a lot of miscommunications on the offense. Tua was not in time syncing with Tyreek Hill nor Jalen Waddle. The running game was a little on, a little off, but that defense came to play. Of course, it was going to be a defensive battle. Jaguars brought their boys, and them boys looking pretty good on defense. Yeah, them defense coordinators had our number because we were struggling. Then they went up 17-0, and then Tua found his rhythm. Offensive coordinator said, "Hey, we got to settle Tua down and get him in the rhythm." Once he found his rhythm, everything was going. Rushing game was gone. Kane was a little slow starting off, as well as Mostrat. But when Wilson came in the game, Wilson brought that fire. He brought that fire on that field, and that field was burning. Yes, and that what woke them up to say, "Hey, Wilson hot. He feeling it. Let's do this." And they felt off his energy as they came up with the victory, 20-17. Yes, they had to kick a field goal at the end to win. Thank God, Sanders came through because he missed an earlier field goal. I think it was a 52-yard field goal he missed earlier in the game. And if he know that field goal and the touchdown, we would have had him. But everybody was dried out in heat, and they know Jacksonville from Florida, so Jacksonville used to this heat. Y'all know that. Y'all play y'all backyard, Jacksonville. And then we got Tampa Bay. So yes, they are in Florida, and y'all playing y'all backyard. And those two teams were bound to Florida Heat. So yes, as just in the pregame show, Tua was talking, saying that with the Heat, we thought we had them beat, but no, we didn't. And then we had to wake up. Do we want to win or walk in the locker room with the loss? So they had to wake up, did their thing, and they got the win, beating Jacksonville Jaguars 2017. Let's go over to the stats. Tua Tagovailoa had 23 of 37 for 338 yards and a touchdown. Yes, he struggled because he had 10 drop balls where he was just forcing it, underthrowing them, overthrowing them. Yes, he was forcing it, and there's a lot of drop balls. 10 attempts was dropped by the receiving second. Tua was just not putting that ball in the window for his team. He had Tyreek Hill on a deep ball, overshot him. Now, if we was connected on that, we would have been in cruise control. But he overshot Tua, and the timing, as you saw that in the game, was not there. The timing was not there, so they had to wake up. So Tua had completed 23 of 37 for 338 yards and a touchdown on the rushing game. It was a pretty decent. 25 carries for 81 yards. I expected more for Mostrat and Kane, but the Jaguars defense had their number. They said, "Hey, to get at this team, we need to shut down their running game and get at Tua, put him in tough, difficult situations where he can make a mistake with that football." But Tua said, "You know what? He came to play. He understood the Jaguars' defensive game attack, and he attacked it, and they came up with the victory." On the running game, Jeff Wilson came in the game, carried the ball 5 times for 26 yards. Devon Kane had 10 carries for 24 yards and a touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa had 1 carry for 11 yards. Raheem Mostert had 6 carries for 9 yards. I expected Raheem to have at least 15 touches for at least 130 yards. But that defense, like I said, that defense was very strong today. And Jacksonville came in our backyard. Yeah, they was in Hard Rock Stadium, came in our backyard, and they came to play. And they put that pressure on them Dolphins. So Dolphins need to tighten up because they got the Thursday night football against Buffalo. And if we don't tighten it up, then Buffalo gonna run all through us. But we hope they don't do that. Alrighty, Ezra Arlick Gold had 2 carries for 8 yards. Jalen Waddle had 1 for 3, giving us a total of 25 carries for 81 yards. Onto the receiving part of the thing. That's when they woke up and Tua got into his rhythm and was connected to his team boys. Yes, Hill and Waddle, baby, them boys was on fire. Tyreek Hill had 7 receptions for 130 yards and 1 touchdown. Jalen Waddle had 5 receptions for 109 yards and no touchdown. Devon Chain was in the passing game. He had 7 receptions for 76 yards. Raheem Marshall had 2 receptions for 10 yards. Jonnu Smith had 1 for 7 yards. Julian Hill had 1 for 6 yards. Receiving was 23 receptions for 338 yards and a touchdown. Woo, woo. Them boys will put that pressure on that Jaguars defense. But you know what about Jacksonville? That I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Some of y'all may agree, some of y'all may not agree. But Jacksonville Jaguars, if they keep playing good football, because they got a strong squad this year. They squad are tight. The coordinators on offense and defense, they are phenomenal. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and say this: Jacksonville Jaguars might be in the playoffs this year. All depends on how many games they can win, and hopefully they might make it to the wild card. But just like I said, how many games they can win? Can they win majority of their home games? You know, can they beat their division rivals? You know, that's all they have to do: beat their division and win some games. And right now, this squad can win. They can win. Alrighty, moving on to the team stats. On the team stats, Dolphins was managed to hold T. Lawrence to 12 for 21 for 162 yards and a touchdown. Yes, once you give Lawrence some time to throw, he will eat you up. Yes, he will. On the rushing, T. Bigsby, 12 carries for 73 yards, and receiving, G. Davis had 3 receptions for 62 yards. On our side of the ball, Tua Tagovailoa had 23 for 37 for 338 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Wilson Jr. had 5 carries for 26 yards, and Tyreek Hill had 7 receptions for 130 yards and a touchdown. Yes, yes, yes. Team stats and control. Miami, it was just too much Miami for Jacksonville defense. Way too much. Total yards, Jacksonville had 267 yards. Our defense gave up 267 yards in total, as Jacksonville Jaguars defense gave up 400 yards of Miami offensive total yards. Yes, Miami had 400 total yards in offense. Jacksonville Jaguars had 1 turnover. Miami had none. First downs, Jacksonville, they was pretty decent. Jacksonville had 17 to Miami 18 first downs. So it was pretty much of a balanced attack on offense on both ends. Time of possession, Dolphins had cruise control. Dolphins had the ball for 33 minutes and 10 seconds, as well as Jacksonville Jaguars had the ball for 26 minutes and 50 seconds. So what's up next for them Dolphins? Just like I said, them Dolphins play Buffalo Thursday night football, and it's going to be on and it's going to be popping because our rivalry are in town. Yes, they are. They are in town. And let me double check that. I want to double check that and make sure, because I think that we go up there to play or they come here to play. Let me double check that, because the way I see it is that we're going to have our hands full playing Buffalo. Yes, we are. Because Buffalo is nothing to mess with. Yes, I was correct. At 8:15 Thursday, 9:12. Yes, the game is at 9:12. Kickoff is at 8:15. And they play in our backyard. So if we come up with the win over Buffalo, we could go ahead and have that edge in the division. So if we beat Buffalo, we beat the Jets, we beat the Patriots, and win the majority of our games, we could go ahead and secure a home field advantage and have all our games come to our backyard in this hot heat country that a lot of teams cannot play. That's what we thought that last year, that the Dolphins was going to do that there, and we would have had the first game having the Chiefs in our backyard sweat. They literally hiding these off, but we had to go in there playing at -10. So if the Dolphins go ahead and continue to play good football, go ahead and correct some mistakes they made in today's game and get ready for the Thursday night takedown of Buffalo Bills, then we'll be all good to go. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and close this segment out. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.